I'm going to admit some more people in here. I wasn't expecting this many people to come, so it could fill up, and we'll just have to wait and see how it is. So Ami Kassar is the author of The Growth Dilemma. It's an excellent book. I'd recommend that you go on Amazon and that you buy this book. He is the CEO and founder of Multi-Funding. He writes a regular column for Inc. magazine. Please welcome to New York City via Zoom, Ami Kassar.
Thank you, Mark. I'm not so sure how much of the growth dilemma is relevant in this world anymore, but that's okay. Welcome, everybody. Hope everybody is hanging in there. I know particularly in New York, it's a hard-hit area, and our thoughts and prayers are with everybody. Most forward for your safety. What I really want to do today is focus this presentation about the Main Street Lending Program, which is new and not all that well understood. And then certainly afterwards in the breakout for Vistage members and folks in Vistage, I'll also be happy if anyone has any lingering questions about the PPP or the EIDL to take them as well. My lawyers insist on a couple of disclaimers. We are in an unprecedented time in history, and the information available to us is changing rapidly. Please refer to our most current presentation for education. The information provided is based upon our best judgment about what we know at this time. However, key questions remain about how to implement the program that I'm describing to you today. Multi-Funding LLC does not accept any liability as it relates to the timeliness or content of the information we are sharing today or may share in the future, and we are under no legal duty to update any such information or recommendations. We encourage you to check in with your attorneys, CPAs, and the financial advisors for additional insights. Let's begin. Today, I find that almost all business owners, understandably, are focused on survival instincts. Many people are hoarding cash. Many people are hunkered down at home. Many people are generally and understandably afraid. And when you're afraid, there are survival instincts. There is also undoubtedly a certain herd mentality going on. 9 out of 10 questions I get today are about how to maximize the forgiveness of the PPP, even though in many respects that is a very short-sighted issue compared to the long-term issues that the business faces. We see, understandably, general fear. People are scared. People are scared about what tomorrow holds or what the future holds. There's a lot of unpredictability. And with all that being said, as entrepreneurs and business owners, we also need to be thinking about what is next, reimagining our businesses and building our plans and our strategies to take them forward so we can live to fight another day. Crisis brings opportunities, and opportunities are going to present themselves, some in unexpected ways, and we have to prepare now. And the Main Street Lending Program is about preparing your balance sheet, if you can get it, to take advantage of these opportunities as they may present themselves. There are a couple of just general features about the loan I'd like to describe. This Main Street Lending Program is allocated in the CARES Act for $600 billion. There are 2 different lending facilities. One is for new loans and one is for expanded loans. Businesses can obtain financing from only one of the 2 facilities. To qualify, if you have more than 10,000 employees or 2.5 billion in 2000 revenue, you're too big. But I'm assuming everyone in this call is under that threshold, or almost everyone is. And small businesses, including those that participate in the PPP, are also able to seek loans from the MSLP as long as they meet the EBITDA and leverage criteria. Minimum loan size in this program is $1 million. This program is designed for companies that were doing well in 2019. You had to have, at a very bare minimum, about $180,000 of positive EBITDA last year to participate. And the program, want to be very clear, is still open for comments, and we're waiting for further guidance. The final details that I'm describing to you now could and will likely change. So what I want to just do is describe the new loan facility, talk about the expanded loan facility, show some comparative and case studies, and just let you know that if you want, multi-funding is here to help you. The new loan facility is for loans between $1 and $25 million. Eligible lenders here are U.S. insured depository institutions, U.S. bank holding companies, and U.S. savings and loan holding companies. To be eligible, you must be a business that is created or organized in the United States or under the laws of the United States, with significant operations in and most of your employees based in the United States. These are unsecured loans. They have a 4-year maturity. The amortization of principal as interest is deferred for 1 year, so you pay the loan off over 3 years. They are based presently at an adjustable rate of SOFR, which is the cost that the banks borrow money from the Federal Reserve at, which is almost nothing today, plus 250 to 400 basis points, or 2.5% to 4%, depending on how the banks assess your credit risk. And the minimum loan size is $1 million. It's better for me to show you visually how loan size is calculated next. Prepayment is permitted without penalty, and there's an origination fee of 1%. So let's take some examples. This is a company with $500,000 of EBITDA, and let's use row number 1. Maximum amount they could be eligible for is $2 million. If you take their existing debt of $500,000, you subtract that from 4 times their EBITDA, so you get a potential new money of $1.5 million. 4 times EBITDA minus existing debt. You take the same company in row 4, same EBITDA, but if this company had $2 million worth of debt, they have too much debt and they would not be able to receive a loan. Another example to take row 1 is a company with $1 million of EBITDA. The maximum they could get would not exceed $4 million, but they have $1 million worth of existing debt, so their potential new money is $3 million. In a very baseline scenario, a company with $250,000 of EBITDA and 0 debt could borrow $1 million under this program. What are the required attestations for participation in this program? That you will refrain from using the proceeds of the loan to repay other loan balances. You will refrain from repaying other debt of equal or lower priority, except for mandatory principal payments, unless you have repaid the Main Street loan in full. You will not seek to cancel or reduce any of your outstanding lines of credit with your MSLP lender or any other lender. You attest that you require financing due to the exigent circumstances presented by COVID-19. Using the proceeds of the loan, you will make reasonable efforts to maintain your payroll and retain your employees during the term of the loan. You attest that the EBITDA leverage conditions, financial information you have provided is correct, and you agree to compensation, stock repurchase, and capital distribution restrictions that I will describe next. You agree for up to 12 months after the loan is paid in full and while you have the loan, not to pay dividends or make other capital distributions with respect to the common stock of your business. There are controls in place to make sure you don't take this unsecured money, take it out of the company and put it in your pocketbooks. And there are limits on your compensation. For those who earn between $425,000 and $3 million in 2019, you agree not to make more than that amount in any year while you have the loan and 1 year afterwards. And for those who earn more than $3 million, you agree not to earn more than $3 million plus the delta over and above that. So someone who earns $6 million could earn $3 million plus $1.5 million of the next $3 million, which for a total of $4.5 million. Now let's talk about the expanded loan facility, which is a little bit different. And these loans, which tag along to your existing loans, are for facilities between $1 and $150 million. What is different? Let me explain it to you visually. It is easier to explain. And what is different here is that the collateral tags along to your existing loan and loan agreements. So let's take an example, and let's start with the bottom row here, a company with $2 million EBITDA that was interested in the expanded loan facility. This way you calculate 6 times 2019 EBITDA, which is $12 million, but their existing debt is $8 million. So the baseline is 30% of the existing debt of $2.4 million, so that counts. If that same company had in row 1, $2 million of existing debt, 30% of that is only $600,000, which is under the $1 million threshold. So that company would not count for the program. In another example, let's take row number 4, a company with $4 million of EBITDA and $16 million of existing debt. They could get 30% of that, or $4.8 million, because that's under this $24 million. Which one is for you, the new or the expanded? Well, if you take row number 2, a company with $2 million of EBITDA and $4 million worth of existing debt, under the new facility, they could get $4 million, and then under the expanded facility, they could get $1.2 million. So they would have to decide which way is best for them. What does this all mean? How to think about it? Well, financing strategy, one of the things I do say in my book is it's always about playing offense and defense. And as we prepare for this next battle ahead of us, as we prepare to reestablish and get our companies back up and going in whatever shape or form, we have to have an offensive and a defensive plan. And this tool gives you a mechanism to think about that. Let's take an example of a company with a $3 million line of credit and $1 million is drawn down. This line of credit has a personal guarantee. They want to get an MSLP for liquidity. They think that they're going to have to need some input, some cash, while the economy reestablishes itself. And they would rather do that without personally guaranteed money. So they plan on using the MSLP instead of their line of credit to do that. Example number 2 is a professional services firm whose partners will reduce draws by at least 50% in 2020 to recover from COVID-19. They plan to take an MSLP to spread their income hit over 4 years instead of 1. Example number 3 is a company that has already been approached by several competitors who plan to close shop. They plan to acquire these companies at pennies on the dollar and use the MSLP money to help. Just some math. For every $1 million of MSLP money, you will incur interest and fees of $155,000 over if you keep the money for all 4 years and if your rate is 4%. If you keep that money you're able to obtain a rate of 2.5%, your fees and interest are just shy of $100,000 for the 4-year period. And for those who are interested, if you want multi-funding's help, you're under no pressure. I'm not here to sell. Multi-funding is certainly here to help you. Mark, that is my finished slides, and depending how you want to do it, I'm happy to take it into a breakout room, let people ask a few questions, however you want to do it.
Okay, so I had initially planned for this to be for Vistage members of my specific group. So I'm going to put Ami into a breakout room with my Vistage members so that you guys could ask him confidential conversations. And the rest of you, I thank you for attending today. And Ami, can you say something about the daily webinars that you have that for the public?
Sure, we're not doing them daily anymore. We are doing webinars on Tuesday and Thursday at noon Eastern time every day. And if you are interested in learning more about those or getting updates on the program, you're welcome to go to multifunding.com, which is the company to sign up. And there's a link up there for free information. And if you follow that link, you're absolutely welcome to go to the webinars.
Great. So I will now put you into a breakout room with Ami. Give me a second while I do this because I'm going to do this manually.